Welcome to Epic Court Encounters. Today, we have a defendant who has an attitude in court. Now, these are his charges: driving with expired license, no proof of insurance, and he has a disorderly. And I wonder why that is. Well, let's go in the courtroom and find out. Let's go.
All right. Mr. Thompson, you're here today to be arraigned on 3 misdemeanor charges brought by the city of East Lansing against you. They allege that on April 19th, 2025 at approximately 11:12 p.m. in the city of East Lansing on Abbott Road at or near Saginaw Street. The first misdemeanor charge against you is that you drove while your license was expired. The second misdemeanor charge against you is that you failed to produce proof of insurance. And the third is that you engaged in disorderly conduct by obstructing, resisting, or hindering an officer. The driving with your license suspended is punishable by up to $325 in fines, up to 90 days in jail. The failure to produce proof of insurance is punishable by up to $225 and 90 days in jail. And the disorderly obstructing, resisting, or hindering an officer who you knew to be a police officer performing their duties is punishable by up to 93 days in jail, up to $500 in fines. You have the right to a lawyer. Are you planning on hiring your own lawyer, representing yourself, or would you like to have the public defender represent you at either no cost to you or a low negotiated cost to you? That's between you and the public defender's office, because you have the right to attorney. Which option would you like to exercise?
I will be obtaining and retaining my own agent.
Okay. Do you know the name of your lawyer? Is it someone you've used before?
No, I don't know currently at the moment.
So you'll be hiring someone?
Yes.
Okay. All right. You have the right to remain silent. You shouldn't say anything about the events that were involved in on the night of these 3 charges. You have the right to a jury trial, and along with a jury trial, you have some important constitutional rights. You have the right to cross-examine the prosecutor's witnesses. You have the right to call your own witnesses. You have the right to testify on your own behalf or to remain silent. And you have the right to be presumed innocent unless you're proven guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. Generally, when people are not represented by a lawyer at their arraignment, they plead not guilty so that they have some time to talk with their lawyer about what to do next and how to plead. So how would you like to plead, sir?
I plead not guilty.
Okay. All right. We're going to set a pretrial conference for May 29th at 1 p.m. A final pretrial conference, if your case is not resolved at that first one, will be July.
You said May 20th, excuse me, Your Honor. Yeah. You said May 29th at what time?
1 p.m. And then if the case isn't resolved at that first pretrial conference, a final pretrial conference will be July 14th at 1 p.m. And if you are taking this to a jury trial, which is your right to do, your jury selection will begin on July 15th at 1 p.m. Now, it's my obligation, Mr. Thompson, to set your bail, and because you have Ms. Vachon here, you can ask her to represent you for just purposes of the bail setting. These are 3 misdemeanor charges. I don't know, because this is just an appearance ticket, what the facts are regarding
I received a notice to appear for 2 things. I didn't receive a notice for 3 things. I got a notice right here in front of me for driving while license expired and disorderly
obstructing, resisting, hindering.
Yeah, so I just want to know, how could some rookie cadets, charge me with a disorderly?
And I have just what I was about to say in terms of
You
setting.
got some 22-year-old teenagers basically with firearms, pumped up on Red Bull, look like they nose a little bit powdery, saying that I'm resisting.
Okay, one, you can see his attitude right there. So you know that's probably the reason for everything going on with the stop with the disorderly. Two, cadets cannot issue any type of citations on the road while they're in the academy. They may be able to write parking tickets on special little details, but that's about it. Three, the officer that stopped him, because I did some digging, he has a master's degree in law enforcement, not including a couple of other bachelor's degrees in law enforcement. The fact that he looked young to him, that was his problem.
When I'm being pulled over for a civil infraction due to a payment for a child. So me resisting anything just doesn't even seem fit at the end of the day. So I would like to exercise my right to examine everything. I definitely would like to see body cam. I would like the body cam footage from the officers from the scene. I definitely would like the officers drug tested as well and put on the ready list.
Okay. You have the right to discovery and to see the body cam footage.
Yes.
I know none of the facts, the ages of the officers.
They were 22 years old, each one.
Let me finish for a second. Okay. I don't know any of the facts because I just have an appearance ticket. There was not a warrant issued with this. There are a couple of different ways for officers to bring misdemeanor charges. One is to actually fill out a warrant stating all of the facts, like whether the defendant ran or refused to give their real name. All of those are just examples. And you shouldn't say anything about that night because this is being recorded and everything you say here today could be used against you at trial. But I only have an appearance ticket that says what the charges are. It doesn't give me any of the facts. So those are things you're going to want to explore with and through your attorney. And you can have your attorney make discovery requests through the city attorney, and they will turn over to you all of the body cam footage and the information that the police have. That's sort of part of the due process that you're entitled to. But you shouldn't talk about it here because this is recorded, and the prosecuting attorney can use anything you say here to cross-examine you. So it's now my obligation to set your bond. And when I'm setting your bond, I have to determine whether or not you are a flight risk or whether or not you're a danger to the public. You have Ms. Vachon here. I'm going to, because she's a public defender that's well known to this court and very competent, let her talk to the court about your bond. And specifically, Ms. Vachon, I'd like to know whether or not Mr. Thompson has any outstanding warrants for failure to appear in any other jurisdiction.
Your Honor, Mr. Thompson declined to speak with me, so I do not have specific information to provide to the court. I would request a personal recognizance bond on his behalf, given that he appeared today as ordered. He seems committed to continuing to appear, and these are all misdemeanor offenses.
Okay. So do you understand, Mr. Thompson? She's asking for a personal recognizance bond, which means that I don't make you pay any money to stay out of the custody of the court. That's pretty typical in a misdemeanor case, especially when they're nonviolent, although I don't know whether the obstructing, resisting, or hindering involved any physical acts. And you shouldn't say anything about it right now, really, honestly. Have you ever failed to appear in front of another court?
No.
Okay. And do you have a lease or a mortgage or a job or anything that ties you to this community that gives me security that you'll appear for all those dates that I set, your pretrial conference and your final pretrial conference?
Yes.
Okay. Can you tell me specifically, is your name on a lease or a mortgage or either one?
I pay child support. I can't go nowhere.
Okay. Do you have a job here in town?
Yes.
Do you have family here in town?
Yes.
Okay.
Born and raised here for 42 years.
Okay. All right. I'm going to just order a $500 personal recognizance bond. That means you don't have to pay anything. You're released on your personal recognizance. But because the allegations are that you drove while your license was expired, I'm going to make as a condition of that bond that you do no unlawful driving, which means that.
Excuse me, that I have a contestment to that because that's how I work. I'm employed. I drive for employment.
Okay, well, you got to get your license. You got to get your license up to date before you drive again.
The reason why my license is suspended is not because I haven't paid anything. It was due to a child support contestment, and I've contacted the offices, and we have consolidated that matter. So I'm just waiting for some papers from them, and then I'll be able to take care of that. So making any restrictions on my driving would prevent me from being able to earn income.
But I can't allow you. The first condition of all bonds is that you can't violate the laws of any.
I'm not violating the law.
Okay. All right. Okay. So no unlawful driving, $500 personal recognizance bond. We'll see you at your pretrial on May 29th at 1 p.m. Thanks to all of you.
Talk about my driving.
Okay, sir, you're all set to leave. Thank you.
Thank you.
Fuck you.
Okay, as you can see, he clearly has an attitude, especially with that last word that he left at the end of the hearing, that he waited for them to leave before he said that, because he was smart enough to know if he said that in that hearing, he probably would have been going to jail. So whatever he has going on in his own life, whatever mistakes that happen, causing this to go on, but he's blaming the system for it. But it's not their fault. They might have ran his tag and seen that maybe he doesn't have a license, and that was the reason for the stop. I don't know. But you know what? I'm gonna find out. And when I find out, I'm gonna bring it to you here. See you on the next video.